to get into everything that we missed over the last 3 months away. Suffice to say, what we missed was that every single person in America is now running for president. Jeff Bezos told us all to keep an eye out for his dick pic. And, of course, the president has been very busy. He famously posed with a feast of 300 hamburgers, or as he put it, over 1,000 hamburgers. And on Christmas Eve, he spoke to a 7-year-old and said this.
Are you still a believer in Santa? Because at 7, it's marginal, right?
Yeah, that's the President of the United States ruining Santa for a child on December 24th. Which is actually perfectly on brand, because if there's one thing Trump is good at, it's fucking up children forever. But the major drama since we left has been President Trump's repeated attempts to get Congress to fund his border wall, including shutting the government down for nearly a month. And this Friday, he tried a new approach.
Underway right now, President Trump declares a national emergency in an attempt to get billions for a border wall.
Yes, according to Trump, the border suddenly constitutes a national emergency, or as he might spell it in a tweet, the border constitutes a national emergency. And to be clear, there is zero actual emergency at the border right now. Illegal crossings have been declining for 20 years, and as we've talked about before on this show, a wall would be expensive and completely ineffective. But putting those aside, declaring a national emergency is a big step. Emergency declarations are meant to temporarily enhance the president's power during a legitimate crisis. So, Trump needed to sell this as a real emergency, and yet, within minutes of declaring it, he said this.
I could do the wall over a longer period of time. I didn't need to do this, but I'd rather do it much faster.
Well, it's not an emergency then, is it? Also, for the record, there is no way that's the first time this week that Trump has claimed, I could do this over a longer period of time, I'd just rather do it much faster. Happy Valentine's Day, you two. Hashtag couple goals. And as if that weren't bad enough, he then responded to this newly declared emergency by just hours later flying off to Florida for the weekend, where he's apparently been photographed waiting at an omelette bar. You know, the kind of thing you do when America is in crisis. Now, unsurprisingly, there were legal challenges filed almost instantly, which shocked nobody, including Trump himself.
And we will have a national emergency, and we will then be sued, and they will sue us in the Ninth Circuit, even though it shouldn't be there, and we will possibly get a bad ruling, and then we'll get another bad ruling, and then we'll end up in the Supreme Court, and hopefully we'll get a fair shake, and we'll win in the Supreme Court.
You know, yet another great reason for Trump to not be president is that I now kind of want to see him as a historical expert on the next Ken Burns miniseries. They killed the Archduke, and Germany got mad, and then there were tanks, and also poison gas, and there was a beagle on a doghouse flying around shooting at people, and then America won. Look, there will be plenty more to say about Trump's border wall going forward, but for now, I'd like to talk about IKEA, voted #1 in the world by Places to End Your Marriage magazine.